Bachmann trains are very well known in the Thomas fandom. They make exceptional models of the characters in many different scales. HO scale is the one they are well known for. They have so many different characters, from classics like Duck, Bill and Ben, and Spencer, who are represented greatly, and new characters like Ryan, Bo, and Paxton. Actually, never mind. Yeah, some models of Bachmann aren't really the best, and some are in dire need of new tooling, aka the original models of Thomas, Percy, and James. But despite that, I enjoy collecting Bachmann Thomas. I don't usually buy these often, but a lot of these are from my childhood. Because they were from my childhood though, some aren't in the best condition. But today, I wanted to fix up a model I was quite excited about getting when I was getting into the line at a young age, but has received quite the treatment. And that was Diesel. This is how I fixed up my Bachmann Diesel. The body was made by the LBC Thomas on Twitter. While I am going to fix up Diesel, I'm going to also try and give him some improvements to make the model more accurate to the TV series. The things that really need fixing are the buffers, a few cracks, and it honestly needs a new paint job. To make this TV series accurate, I'm going to hollow out the windows and give it a new face. Don't worry, Diesel runs fine. He is A-OK. The IMAX still functions, and look at that epic side rod action. So, with that all out of the way, let's fix him up. First, I unscrew the chassis from the body shell. I do this very carefully, so as not to break anything important. The face will also come off during this step. On the motor, I remove the IMAX so it doesn't interfere anymore. Don't worry, the model is fine without it. Then, I use a combination of sandpaper and a Dremel to remove the original buffer housings from the buffer beam, and use primer to check regularly. With the primer, you can see a terrifying thing that happened in Diesel. Yeah, my dumbass child self decided Sharpie was a good color, and I drew all over the model. Ouch. But luckily, that's fixable. We can also now see the cracks, so I'll use some putty to fix them up, and sand them down till flush. Then the windows. Using a tiny drill bit, a Dremel, a file, and an X-Acto knife, I removed the plastic covering of the windows. This was a nightmare. I was so careful during this process, as I was worried I would break the shell, especially the smallest windows in the front. But after learning how I could just use a file, it was much better to work with. But after that, and before he received his plaque, I gave him some new resin-printed buffers, with the files being made by George, or Brawl.95, that I got in a Discord server, and printed by Lewis of Thomas Tank Merch. For paint, I sprayed him in Tester's black, and he's already looking good. After a day of drying, I masked Diesel off, and painted his buffer beam in red. Then, very carefully, I did paint corrections, and painted the buffer heads black. When on his way to receive a satin coat, his buffer broke. So I had to put on and paint a new one on. After that debacle, I gave him a satin coat. With that out of the way, I used some clear plastic sheets for his windows and put them over the window holes. Now, Diesel really has windows. Now I can screw him back onto the chassis and give him his new face. Oh yeah, the face. Andrew, aka the Chairlord on Twitter, made this, and they did an excellent job on the one I have. I might get more later on, but his devious look is always perfect. I quickly painted the face and added eyeballs using airsoft pellets. Also, Lewis printed this one too. After putting the brake pipe... Wait a sec, I'm missing one. Thankfully, Lewis had some spare brake pipes from another project, so I decided to buy them from him. It's not the most TV series accurate, but it gets the job done. With that, Diesel is completed. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.